Hello ladies, and welcome back to Still Looking Good 58, the channel that reviews wigs for the mature woman. Today, as you know, is Relationship Day, and we're going to be talking about the subject, why he will not commit to you. Now, I was thinking about this topic, and I decided that I was going to invite my dear friend, RM Johnson, to share in this discussion with me. So I have pre-recorded a video that I'm going to show you in a minute. RM Johnson has been writing romance novels for a number of years. He's written about 20, but he also wrote a relationship book called Why Men Fear Marriage. And that's why I wanted to talk to him, because it's been 5 years that he's been married, and he wrote the book before he got married, so I was anxious to ask him some questions about it. Now, if you're not familiar with RM, he has written books called The $1 Million Deception. He's written Father Found. He wrote Dating Games, The Harris Family, and you may be familiar with some of those, and if you are not, go out to the library or to Amazon or to your favorite bookstore and pick one up. So, I also want to tell you really quickly that I am wearing Outre's Jeanette. I have her in the color DR2 Golden Amber, but we're not doing a wig review. I just want to let you know what I was wearing. So let's take a look at my interview with RM Johnson.
We're good.
Okay, all right, so we're going to talk about your transition from being single to married, but first thing I'm going to ask you is, what are the three main reasons that you feared commitment before you got married?
Oh. Okay. And not necessarily in this order, but, and this could be universal to some degree for all men, but one of the reasons for me is that I feared making a mistake, the marriage ending in divorce, and you know, I think it's one of the most profound decisions that a man can make in his life, because it can have so many negative effects on your life, not just immediate, but just on down the line for the rest of your life. I didn't want to end up with someone who was vengeful or vindictive, you know, because if I screw it up, which men oftentimes do, I need someone kind of hunting around for me and just trying to make my life miserable. You know, I think we all have friends, and as a matter of fact, myself and my wife were just speaking about someone we know who's going through that type of torture, that hell right now, and affecting that person's life in many ways, not just personally, but professionally, financially, and all sorts of stuff. So that was a big part of it, just wanting to choose correctly.
Right, because you don't want to, like you said, you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to, I guess, be stripped financially. And you don't want to be stalked.
Exactly. And so another thing that, you know, I'm not sure we're specifically talking about black men. This could be a fear of many, you know, men other than just black men, but we definitely don't want it to go into the courts, because the legal system and black men and our power being taken from us and having someone else make those decisions, I just try to avoid that. So it was very important for me to take some time and really get to know this person, and you know, see the worst, and see the extent of how much damage she can cause if I didn't, you know, make a mistake.
Okay, so then that kind of leads me to this question. A lot of times when people think about marriage, they've got this glorified idea of what it's going to be like, and they're looking on the surface a lot, what the guy looks like, you know, what he smells like, you know, what kind of job he has, just those kinds of things. And so one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, then, since you told me the three things that make a man fear commitment, I would like to know the three things that you think women should seriously consider when they're seeking a commitment.
Okay, and I only told you one, but let's go to this. And this is, again, I'm not a woman, but I do believe, wow.
Do you think we look for the wrong things? I guess that's the question.
I really do think it depends on the age of the woman, and I imagine that your audience, women who are in our generation.
Yes.
So, but by that time, I think we all have some sense, some smarts, some wisdom.
Let's hope.
and you know, obviously you want a man who's going to take care of his business. He doesn't have to be rich, but responsible, I imagine, is important. Honesty is important. You want someone who's gotten that need and that desire to kind of be out there. And many times you might not find that right away.
Right.
It might take some settling in for the guy to kind of respect, understand, and appreciate what he has committed to.
Right.
So I think, like I said, I think honesty, responsibility, and I think a desire, a willingness to be in that relationship or to be in that marriage.
Right. So you said you had two others for me in terms of the fear of commitment for a guy. Is that what you were going to get into more?
Yeah. So like I said, I think another one is, and again, it goes to making the right decision, but not just in terms of, okay, will this person go crazy on me and stalk me and try and destroy me if I make a mistake, but also just choosing the right person that you want to be with, characteristics that you want. I mean, men are superficial, and to some degree women are as well, but men feel they have the pick. I didn't hear any of that. But the pick, I'm sorry, I got some other stuff going on. But the pick of any woman they want. Right. And so they want to make sure, and this is going to play into one of the questions that you're going to ask me down the line here, but they want to make sure that they get exactly what they want, the best they can get. And they always want to be satisfied 100% of the time.
Right. And so, I mean, I understand that being a woman, I understand that because we don't want to, we're like you. We don't want to make a mistake. We want to make sure we got the right guy. And for some women, it's security too. Some women want to make sure that they got a guy who's going to take care of them. I wouldn't say that everybody's along the lines of the gold digger, but I mean, I would not venture to say that all women are interested in just a nice guy. I mean, some women are concerned about security as well.
Absolutely, and that is not a bad reason to marry. Ultimately, I think it is, or bottom line, it is or can be a business decision. There's nothing wrong with that. It's where marriage started. It was families merging together for power and security.
Yeah.
And financial and otherwise. And so the whole introduction of love in the equation, that's really what really sparked the whole divorce thing, because marriage should also be a pragmatic decision. It is, and I think so many people marry and that's why young folks, when they marry just for love and they're looking past, okay, is this person responsible? Will this person make a living, support me? So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with marrying someone because they feel that they will be taken care of.
So I'm skipping around on my questions because I wanted to ask you, what do you think men really want in a wife?
And again, I think this, and I will go back to, okay, a man my age, I'm 53 years old. And so I'm at the age now where my expectations are realistic. And if I were to marry at 25, they would be different, the expectations, the wants, than they are now. So at this age, or when I got married, which was just a short 5 years ago, I wanted companionship. I wanted a woman who was trustworthy, someone who would make me better, someone who would support me, not necessarily financially. I mean, if it came to that, then yes, but emotionally would support my desires, my dreams, my wishes, and someone who would be a friend, a best friend. Luckily, I did a good job. I mean, I am happy with my.
I would say you did a good job too.
And I can honestly say that sure, my wife is my best friend. I have a male friend who's a little bit older than me, and right now he is just he's 54 years old, and he's still out here struggling, and had relationships where he could have committed and could have married, but let these women go. And it's a sad, sorry sight to see, because you know, as we grow older, we don't necessarily grow better, and we become more entrenched in our, you know, sometimes selfish beliefs.
Yeah.
And having that other person kind of pull you out of that, or letting you know that, okay, you might be wrong on this issue, or so those are the things for me. I wanted companionship, friendship, and someone who, like I said, was trustworthy and supportive. And like I said, I believe I got that.
I noticed though in your book you said that you were talking about how women needed to be able to do those basic things like cooking.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that now?
Oh, I feel the exact same way. I have, I don't know if I'll put my brother out there like that, but yeah, I'll put him out there. But his wife can't cook, and he complains about it. And you know, especially when you have a mother who used to be able to throw down. It's just there are some basics. And again, me being this age, there are just things that you expect women to do. And just like I imagine women my age, there are some things that they expect a man to be able to do.
Right. Like have a job.
And not just that.
Yeah.
But okay, you know, if there's something, I don't know, something goes wrong with the car, just basic skills, or at the house.
Right. Yeah, I don't have to do any of that stuff. LaFonza takes care of all that.
There you go. But I hope you can cook.
You know I can cook, so we're not even gonna have that conversation.
Right. So yeah.
Anyway, okay, next question. One of the things that you talked about in your book was bridge women.
Yeah. So
do you regret that, or is that still a thing?
I don't regret that, and I think that's a thing. It may be called something different. It's something that I just kind of slapped the term on. But men, women.
Can you explain it, because the ladies may not understand what that is?
I'll explain it, but I will say this first: that men do that. I believe women do it as well. But
yeah,
men might be dating several women, determining whether or not they want to marry. They may be with someone who is nice, is fine for the moment, but isn't quite marriage material, and will continue to date that woman until they find exactly what they're looking for. So it's kind of just bridging the gap. I will bridge the gap of singleness with this woman until I find someone who I believe.
Do you think that's unfair to the person being bridged?
Of course. Yeah, I mean everything about.
What if you tell her up front she's a bridge?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it should happen. Seriously. I mean, you know, and
it's a touchy subject.
Everything about, you know, infidelity and lies, it is just it's so ridiculous when you're in a situation where everything is the opposite of that. And so the hurt you can cause, the damage, the pain, you know, as a younger man, oftentimes you don't consider that, or you don't care.
Yeah, I would agree, because it's like live and die, and all, you know.
Yeah, you know, you don't really, in a relationship, I don't think it's never, I don't think it can ever approach the, I don't know, love, respect that you have in a marriage, in a good marriage. And so the idea of potentially hurting your spouse like that, yeah, it's just honesty is best, is key. And so sure, it definitely does hurt the person that you're bridging, and it would be smart to just say, hey, you know what, I'm using you right now until I find something better. And so
not that way.
she or he can make the
Maybe
decision.
not that way. Yeah, I mean, I know some guys, and you know my track record. I know some guys have said to me, "Well, I'm really not looking for a relationship," and that was like the code for saying, I like you, and I'm trying to mess around with you, but I'm not really thinking of you as marriage material.
Sure.
So I'm not ready for a relationship.
Yeah, and everyone's not ready for marriage, and so it would be, nice to give that person the option as to whether or not, sure, if they want to continue this under those circumstances.
Yeah, unless she thinks she can fix him, and that's a whole nother topic. But okay, the next question I wanted to ask you is, since you have been married, what has changed about your opinion of marriage versus what your opinion was of it before you got married?
So I always thought that a good marriage would be a good thing, that I would enjoy that. It's just I feared not being in a good marriage. So what I have meets and oftentimes exceeds the expectations that I had.
Excellent.
And so, and then again, I realize that nothing's perfect.
Right.
No one's perfect.
That's
and there's going to be conflict. Sometimes there's going to be some struggle. But I think when you reach that point where it's like, okay, one of the good things about marriage is, okay, someone can act damn fool. Ain't nobody going nowhere. That same person gonna be there tomorrow, and you're gonna get over it, and we're gonna be fine.
Yeah, my husband always says the relationship is never up for discussion.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So as long as you don't do anything just crazy stupid.
Yeah, right.
We're like, okay, let's keep it moving, because we are looking past, whatever that argument was about. And the intent is just to keep on doing it and enjoying doing it until you are unable to any longer.
Right. So I think what you said, no, go ahead.
No, you.
I think what you said was important. The two people, I think, have to be in the same place at the same time. I think they both have to be wanting the same thing, whether it's to stop running the streets or whether it's to just have a companion or whatever it is. Because without the two people being on the same page, it's just not working.
You're absolutely right. And so it's almost, if those two people meet that criteria, it's almost easy to make it work, because there isn't any of that clown nonsense.
Right.
You hear about women, the man is out to 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's married, and it's hard to make that work. But right, when you're on that same page, it's enjoyable, and it's not very difficult to make it a good marriage.
So is there anything else that you want to tell our ladies who are wondering why their men are not committing to them?
I tell you, when I wrote that book, and I'd spoken to lots of others, and I was quick to make assumptions, and I just don't do that anymore, because everyone's situation is different. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to raise questions or doubt that I don't know about firsthand. So,
right, okay.
All I would say is, if you're ready to commit as a woman, and that man really isn't, he's really fighting, and what you really need is marriage, then it is best just to kind of probably step off and do something.
Okay, so last question. Are you going to write a sequel to that book, or are you working on anything else of a fictional nature?
I will sequel to that book. I am. Yeah.
You're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up a little bit.
I am breaking up. So are you. Can you hear me now?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay. So no, I'm not gonna write a sequel. I'm in the game now. I'm in it, and so I have no more comments about it.
Okay.
I will be releasing a novel in the next couple of months.
Okay.
It's been 5 years since I've done that. So
yes, so I'm looking forward to another novel.
yes, I'm looking forward to publishing it and putting it out there for my fans. So, but yeah, that's really just about it.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know that you are a busy guy, and yeah, so I truly appreciate that. And yeah, I'm sure my ladies are going to love this, and they're going to look forward to hearing what you have to say in the chat, what you're in terms of, you know, this whole video. So yeah. Thank you so much again, and hopefully we can get together soon, sometimes you and your lovely wife, so that we can play pool again.
Absolutely, looking forward.
All righty, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, ladies, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. I hope that RM Johnson was able to answer your questions in the chat. And yeah, this was a really nice experience for me too. If you guys want to see more videos like this, please let me know down in the comments. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscription button and that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. Thank you so much again, RM, for coming to my rescue. And ladies, as I always say, if you're going to show love to anyone today, please show it to the creator. I'm still looking good, and of course, so are you. See you next time.